You're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and six-shield general, fourth in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Macho. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ, and Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, Father, this is real. Will you watch over me? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you called for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they will follow the law, they doing it. You said under Yahweh they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadaria Allah, teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazaka Moth, joined by 500 Barack Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday. Learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Kodash class, taught by Officer of 1000, Katab. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me, and I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me, but don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the truth, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised, and what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards in awe. So fuck a gas stop, I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing, we like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian but we not, nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up, we came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment, I be dressed to kill. 4th dimension sitting linger, I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers, you official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the sig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, One West stayed the same on them.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Call Kazak, tells a rock, bring Shamara. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until you're off the street. So y'all on the internet stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch your sister or a brother, you gon' be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain. Clip full of ball heads, I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's. Driven ambition, I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the fact. Crying loud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at?
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga.
Ironic.
You know the truth is the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopper my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Joey Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with Meech. Knowledgeable but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Hey bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cross a priest and I promise you forever sleep.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Salaki, can you hear me? Testing. I can't hear you, Abawan. All right, shalom, Israel. Check that channel, the sound of Abawan. All right, shalom, Israel. Yahbashim Yashabrak Thunder, the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, all the thumb, Bashim Yashad, all the sisters. All right, we got another Monday night history class. The water for everybody tuning in. Quick shout out to the chat. Shalom, Princess Nawa, Kiyadawan, Caroline Radsville, Nada Ba, Aisha Banath, Nasha Gabar. All right, shalom, everybody in the chat. All right, make sure you hit that like button. And Baba Kasha, please share these classes. All right, share these classes, especially if you're tired of this place. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but, you know, being in this Detroit zone, if y'all didn't hear on the news, just Sunday, you had a man drive a vehicle into a church building, into the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints church building, unloaded a clip. I think 4 were pronounced dead, another 9+ injured. After the man does this, he sets the whole church building on fire. You understand? This is literal terrorism going on in front of our face. You know what I mean? It'd be sad to know if any Blacks, Hispanics, or Indigenous, who are my family, my people, the people I love and care about. You know what I mean? It'd be sad to know if any of them fell victim or were injured, you know, in that terrorist attack on that church. It's a very sad thing. You know what I mean? And of course, if you're watching the news, you see everything going on. You know, all these mass shootings happening in the schools, targeting Black neighborhoods, you know, targeting Black grocery stores. You got a brother who's hung from a tree, you know what I mean? Or people find him hanging off a tree. I think that was down in Mississippi. You know what I mean? Just all the hell that goes on in this place. If you are tired of this, you know what I mean, tired of all the hell that surrounds you, share these classes. Understand? Share these classes. Because we're not getting out of here until we find our brothers. You understand? We got to find the brothers who you know, who refused to bow the knee to Baal, who refused to bow the knee and worship and serve these Edomites, serve the white man, serve these other nations, but to find that 144,000 righteous brothers who will dedicate their life to Christ. We need our brothers. You understand? So share this truth. We got work to do. Christ said, you know, to build this kingdom. He said to occupy. He said, this kingdom doesn't come through observation. So we got to build a place that is worthy for Christ to come back to. You understand? So share these classes, like these classes, get this truth out. All right? What's going on, Ahaba One? You got the mic? Nope, sound's still off. Is that? Let me make sure it's not me. No, my volume's on. All right, we're just trying to got some slacking for the technical difficulties. We're just working on some sound issues. Hey,
Test.
hey, there you go.
Hold on, let me check the other mics.
Test. Can you hear me here?
Yeah, you're too loud. I can hear you now.
Okay, kind. Somehow the settings got switched up. Well, let's get into it. Shalom. I see you gave the intro to Water Out of One. Shalom. Israel. So I heard you talking, sir, about the things that that's been going on, current events, and understand, you know, Israel. This is the history class. And with this being the history class, you have to understand that that old cliche saying that people repeat over and over again, that history repeats itself, right? So if you don't learn your history, it's bound to repeat itself. So if you don't know who you were in the past, guess what's going to happen? If you don't find out that you are the Lord's chosen people, that you are over the 12 tribes, if you don't find out and find out that you're supposed to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, this history, you know, it's a possibility it could repeat itself. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it can go and get worse and worse and worse until you choose to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Think about what's going on in the nation today, and then look what went on in the nation before time. The Bible tells us, you know, one of my go-to scriptures, sir, is remember the days of old. Remember the days of old. And with remembering the days of old, we don't just, you know, remember yesterday, remember, you know, thousands of years ago. We have to remember in the early, 2000s. We have to go back to the early 1900s, or we have to go to the mid 1900s to remember the days of old. Because think about it, those things, early 2000s, early 1990s, 1980s, 1970s, that stuff is still history to us, right? These are the things that we have to tell and inform our young people growing up. Think about this. Young people growing up, born in the 2000s, unless you inform them of their history, they can't tell you what went on in 1960, 1970, 1950. If they can't tell you that, then how are they going to tell you what went on during the 1800s, 1700s? Things of that nature, right? And one of the things that we've been, seeing lately is that Black people are being blamed for any and everything that happens in this country, right? Think about this. Right after COVID, they were saying that the Black man didn't want to work. Remember that, sir? Right after COVID, the reason why that the efficiency of this America is falling is because the Black man don't want to work.
Right.
Now, the Black man only makes up, 12 to 13%, Black folk only make up 12 to 13% of this nation. So you're telling me that 12 to 13% of the people don't want to work. So what about the other, let's say 70% of the people? If those people work, you trying to say the country can't strive with that percentage? What else is going on? You know, we're seeing mass shootings, right? We saw mass shootings in the past. I'm gonna prove it to you. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wasn't that a mass shooting?
God.
You know, Redwood, Rosewood. You know, the Red Summer of 1919. Those were mass shootings. The Red Summer of 1919, sir, if you remember that, that was a mass shooting across the entire nation. They were unaliving black natives and Hispanics all across the United States.
God.
To the point where they named it Red Summer because you were bleeding out in the street. Think about this. There's postcards with a black man hanging from a street lamp or a tree, right? What just happened in Mississippi in what's that, Delta University?
God.
Right? Yep. Think about what happened. We got a black man hanging from a tree, right? North Carolina, we got a black man hanging from a tree. And it's a school that a young boy, and I didn't look it up. I just seen it. I was scrolling past and I didn't get a chance to research it. But it was a young boy, right? He was a second grader, right? They tied something around his neck and hung him in the bathroom to the coat rack hook on the stool, on the stalls. A second grader, this would happen to a second grader, and they say some fourth graders did it to him. Right? And these are not inner city schools. These are not inner city schools. You got to understand, black man, Native American man, Hispanic man, that your enemy has perpetual hatred towards you. He was, what's that scripture that he says he was from the womb, crooked, I'm trying to remember it.
How's it go?
Say it again, sir.
How's it go?
Something about he's wicked from the womb.
Wicked from the womb.
Let me see. Well,
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna continue, but it talks about. Think about this. If the Most High God knows you before you was formed in your mother's womb, don't you think He knew, and don't you think He know what this oppressor is gonna do? Right. And we have this Bible that tells us what this oppressor is going to do with us, with the prophecies, is going to do to us, trying to do to us, and what he did to us, which is the history.
Yeah. If I may.
Please.
You know, a good verse to understand that is in the book of Romans. You know, the Christian's favorite apostle, Paul. You know, he laid out how Esau is a vessel of dishonor. He was created that way.
Con out of one con. That's probably what I was looking for.
Yeah, like it breaks down that, you know, because somebody was asking, you know, shall we say then is there unrighteousness with God?
Damn right.
Because this race of people is so goddamn evil. If the Lord hates these people, you understand? Like, why would He make them? Why would He make them like this? And the Most High let us know that the potter has power over the clay to make whoever He wants, whichever way He wants. He can make an alligator to kill people. He can make lions. He can make giraffes. You know what I mean? He can make deer. You know, the deer's not out here pleading with God, why'd you make the goddamn lions? The sheep's not pleading with the Most High. Why'd you create all these wolves? You know what I mean?
32.
The Most High had the ability to make whatever He wants on this earth. And it just so happens that the European man was made to be evil. He was made to be the villain. That's who he is. All right.
What's that scripture Laura says? Psalms, what's that, 58 and 32?
So somebody in the chat commented, Laura Pereira, Psalms 58 and 3.
Oh, and 3. It says, "Oh, yep, that's hey." When you know when you got good people on your team. The scripture I was looking for, Psalms 58:3, it says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb."
Strange from the womb. Okay.
Right? Are estranged from the womb. These little oppressors, right? These little oppressors, how old are they when they start to unalive things? Okay, all right. I know what you're gonna say. Like if you got bugs and mosquitoes and stuff like that. All right. How old are they? Are they when they start to unalive things with weapons?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about weapons that fire projectiles at 400 or 500 feet per second.
God.
Understand is this: you can go on the internet and you have them as young as 3 and 4 years old. Their fathers are taking them out, showing them how to use this long gun, and they're taking down that deer.
God.
Right? They're taking down that deer. Let me ask you something, sir. At what age did you fire your first long gun?
I haven't fired one.
Me neither.
God. Yeah.
Me either. Everything that we've used has been for home and self-defense.
God.
Right? And like I got a brother. I got a brother, he hunts, but he hunts with his father-in-law. His father-in-law is an older guy from the South. Right. So, he has a couple of long guns that he used to go hunting with. But they just had a young oppressor. He was 3D. Not only was he buying weapons and selling them, he was 3D printing weapons. And then he wrote up the what they call that, one of those manifests, because he's about to shoot up the school. And this is the first time I heard that the feds stopped or may have prevented a one of those mass shootings at a school.
Yeah.
Right?
God.
Think about this. If we were to profile, think about black people get profiled all the time. Every time you get pulled over, what the police officer say? You fit the description. So, my question would be like, what's the description?
Yeah.
It was a black male, light skin, almost dark skin, from 5'3" to 6'8". He ranged between 110 to 300 pounds.
God.
That's the description. Like that's officer, that's vague.
Yep.
That's vague. You didn't say nothing about him wearing sunglasses. I got on sunglasses, sir, so right. But and another thing is, according to our oppressor, what's his name? The one that was unalived in Utah, Kurt.
Right.
It's the fault of these single women, these single households. These single women households, according to the rhetoric that he spilled, these single women households are raising these thugs. And these thugs are becoming gangbangers and they're becoming violent.
Right.
Right. So my thing is, if we can say that these single women, these single black women, Native American women, and Hispanic women are raising these so-called thugs that are doing all this violent crime and robbing and breaking and stealing and all that kind of stuff, then we should also be able to say that married white women are the reason that we have these mass shooters.
Sure.
Right? Married white women create mass shooters. We should be able to say that.
And if I may,
please.
You're being so kind with your words. They created fucking psychopaths over here.
God,
you know what I mean?
Damn, yes.
And yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? As growing up in an inner city school, have you ever been in a fight?
God.
You ever been, somebody ever try to bully you?
Me, loud.
Well, they may not have been successful, but have they? I said, I didn't say was successful at bullying. I had people try to bully me. They wasn't successful.
Confession's good for the soul. I was a bully when I was a kid.
So it was you.
Yeah.
Yep. And out of all the people that you bullied, which one of those bullies in the inner city school became a mass shooter?
No one.
and from a guy that people tried to bully, I didn't become a mass shooter. You know what I did? Right. I snuck up on my bully and I kicked his ass.
Yeah, God.
Snuck the shit out of him.
if I may,
I didn't have a problem with the school. I had a problem with him.
If I may, I thought it was fun to bully bullies.
That's so what I did do that.
I was just picking on the the less fortunate.
Yeah, I did. I don't think bullying bullies. I don't think bullying bullies I don't think that's called bullying. You know who bullies bullies?
God.
The generals.
God.
The cap. Think about these. The Captain Tazariak, he's out there, and these guys are bullies. Every time he's talking with them, they're trying to overtalk him and outshine him and all that. They're bullies.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to put him down. And he, like a heavyweight fighter, champion of the world, undefeated, what does he do? He lines his things up, and guess what he does? He, spits what he speaks on his whatever subject it is or behalf. And what you'll see is them guys try to wiggle out of it. I like to call it moving the goalposts because now they want to switch it up. You'll notice that when you get kids and you talk to them and they're in trouble, you kind of corner them. Yeah. And what they just said, they're trying to, well, what about such? Well, he was doing such.
Talking about that.
Oh, no, we talking about you, little nigga. We talking about you, right? So, you got anything else, sir?
No. We got a good topic. You know what I mean? There's some good stuff that I want to get into.
All right, if I may.
Yeah.
I want to just bring up something, right? The topic is, white folk don't want you black folk in their hoods, in their communities, in their environments, right? Think about this. Yeah. White folk don't want black folk in their hoods. Yes or no? That's where we get sundown towns from. That's where you get, organizations like, there's white nationalists and KKK and, all those extremists and supremacist organizations, right? So that's where you get those organizations from. So white folk don't want black folk in their neighborhoods and around them. But think about this. They didn't have a problem with you being in their house when you was in slavery. So they don't want you in the neighborhood now, but they have a problem with you not being in their house. They didn't have a problem with you being in their house when they owned you.
Yeah.
So the only issue is that white folk technically don't own black folk no more, and that's why they don't want them around.
God, if I could, I saw a funny ass video I wanted to share.
Pull it up, please.
Yeah, because this white lady, you know what I mean? She was, I'll just say she was caught. You know what I mean? She was caught in her racism. You know what I mean? And she didn't realize. It's almost like she didn't realize her own racism. You know what I mean? So she was caught off guard with it.
What's heavy is that when you so damn racist, you're like, oh damn, I'm racist.
It's just you. You know what I mean?
When it's you, that's racist as hell.
God, let me pull that up real quick. I thought this shit was funny as hell. You know what I mean? And it goes right with the topic we have. Let me see. Yeah, this lady right here. I'm gonna play this.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I think you sent that to me earlier.
God.
I see that one. That's funny. He cooked her ass too.
God. And I'm gonna stop it at the point, you know what I mean, that I want to bring up, but I'm gonna play it right now.
You care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born
14th
here.
Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause.
Pause it right there. Pause it
Any
right there.
person's
Pause right
born
there.
natural.
What's that?
She said, immigrants are not Americans. Remember that.
Right, yeah.
Remember that.
Remember that.
Yeah, immigrants are not Americans. All right, that's it. I just wanted to make sure that Israel understood that she said immigrants are not Americans.
God.
Americans are the people that were born
14th
here.
Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It
so
says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions.
And let me make this clear, you know, he is calling these people immigrants.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She strongly believes these people are immigrants.
According to, I think it's the Constitution, a naturalized citizen is considered an American, an immigrant that's naturalized citizen or becomes that takes on citizenship of the United States are considered American citizens.
That's it.
Right? They're considered Americans. They're no longer, from whatever land that they from. They're American. So if they're from Iraq and they gain citizenship here, they have citizenship in their home country, but they are now an American citizen and they obtain all the rights as an American citizen under the Constitution.
That's right.
Millions. It's the last 20 years now, and it has
Naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions. It's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields.
And now let me add, she believes she is an American.
Yes, she does.
She's saying people like me, people like us.
She said people like me.
We're struggling to find jobs because of all the immigrants.
What kind? Jobs, houses, and whatever else.
Yep.
For a job in
I
construction
am
or
not.
agriculture?
No, I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay. Employment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I
I'm an
consistently
immigrant
hear-
and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American
my-
citizens,
and-
both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ
my
Americans.
parents. No, my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized.
My parents came as immigrants and were naturalized. That's what she just said.
Yes, sir.
So, according to American law, she is technically no more American than the man that she is talking to.
Yes.
But there's only one thing that separates her from him.
She was born here.
No. She's white. That's it. That's the only thing it can be.
You know what? I was thinking too logically. Because I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna say since he's a naturalized citizen and she was born here, she's more of an American than he is. And you know what? I had totally looked past the fact.
Yeah.
And she's white.
Because you gotta think about this logically, boy. If her parents are immigrants and she's speaking to the millions of immigrants, who is she talking about? She's talking about all the Hispanics that are in the country.
Yes.
She's talking about all the Indians that are in the country, the Asians that are in the country, all the Haitians coming in. All these people immigrating to her country are destroying the country. But there's only one thing that separates her from them, Ahabuan. Because all of them have parents that moved to America and had children. These are the people being deported by ICE right now. The parents. The people that came to the country, quote unquote, illegally. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say this live because you guys are gonna ICE is gonna come after my whole damn family.
Hey, look, like I said, it's only the law, right?
And
if we must abide by the law, then ICE should come after her whole family.
That's it. After her whole family. So now, this is the point: is that she genuinely believes, and you can hear it in her passion as she's speaking, that she's an American citizen. So you got to look at what's the only other logical thing that would separate her from everybody else.
Her blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's it. That's white supremacy, and that's the perfect example of, you know, European or these children of Europeans benefiting from white supremacy, because she gets to be what's the word, entitled. She's an entitled American citizen because of what her forefathers did. And was it her parents? No, because you talk to this stupid bitch on the street, she's gonna say, well, my parents didn't put you in slavery.
Yep.
My parents migrated. They're immigrants. It wasn't my parents that did anything to you, but for some reason, she is entitled to Habawan.
And she benefits. And she benefits from white supremacy.
That's all it could be. She gets to stand with her other European, you know, allies and say, rah, rah, I'm pro-Trump. Let's deport the immigrants. When according to her, she should be an immigrant.
Well, according to, think about this. If she has what Trump is trying to revoke now, which is a birthright. Right? Because her parents were immigrants. So neither one of them were born here.
Yeah.
Right? And we can only assume, but she probably was born here before her parents completed their citizenship and was declared naturalized citizens. You know, it's an assumption. So, you know, I don't know her background, but it usually takes years to do such a thing.
Yeah.
Because not only because of the process that you got to go through, but you got to like remember the Pledge of Allegiance and the preamble and all that kind of bull crap. It's some stuff that you got to go through to become a naturalized, an immigrant, and then become a naturalized citizen. I don't know how does it work in Canada, right? But you know, you got to go through some things to become a citizen in the Americas, right?
Let me just finish that video real quick, just so everybody can see, because I'm not trying to paint this like this is like I'm making this shit up. She's genuinely entitled, which I think is funny as hell. And you know, you come to these history classes, you know, this is one of the topics that we bring up all the time. But immigration has always been a term that Europeans use to kick to be racist.
Yes.
I mean, immigration is the term to say, we're going to build a wall here. We don't want you crossing this border. We want to keep you out. You can call it redlining. They got that wall in Detroit that's still built. They built a wall inside Detroit to separate the rich white neighborhood from the blacks.
Yep, the 8 Mile Wall.
Yep, it's the 8 Mile Wall. It's up to date. This is always, you know, the words that they use to justify kicking people out of their quote unquote country.
Now, if I may, sir, there's a wall on the east side that separates Detroit from Grosse Pointe, right? Near, it's like not too far from Casual Mac area. The next time you come over here, I'm gonna have to, if we got time, I'm gonna take you to it. You know, we could take some pictures or videos or something, use it for class.
Yeah, damn right.
But there's a wall over there. You were going to play that video?
Yeah, let me finish that.
Or immigrants in this immigrants that come in here for we've been also the millions of immigrants. It's up to the millions. It's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields.
You're looking for a job in construction
I am
or
not.
agriculture?
No, I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay. Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here. I employ Americans.
My parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your
because-
parents are not Americans.
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents
they're
are not Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not a.
God damn.
Because she was just saying he wasn't an American.
That's right.
Right? Because of his citizenship.
That's right.
But her parents are American, and they have the same exact citizenship.
The exact same. So what's different between them?
She's white.
She white. That's it.
She's white.
That is it. There's no other difference. Because if it wasn't that she was white, if she was genuine and she was sincere, man, she would apologize to that man right there. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were an American." Because, you know what I mean? Salaki. Yeah, she would say, I didn't know you were an American. I apologize. You should be here just as much as I should. We both are here the exact same way. We're both born on American soil. Both our parents came over. They were quote unquote naturalized. And she wouldn't be talking about all the Hispanics, all the Chinese, all the Indians that are coming into the country that went through the same process, because that's an American citizen. The only thing that's different between her and everybody else is that she's white. That could be the only other difference. And she believes that in her mind. You could see the entitlement in her. This is affecting us. This is affecting us hardworking Americans. This is our country. Bitch, you've only been here
35 minutes.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, so like I'll drop that though.
Hey, sir.
Yeah.
So there is a term called political polarization. It says to have different views depending on what side you're viewing it from, right? So it's another, it's a political polarization describes the growing ideology distance between political parties and their supporters, and it can be increased by partisan and less compromising, right? So what's going on is that it's another term associated with this. Is something delusional that I can't remember, but what it is, it talks about whether a person has a different view of something depending on what angle they're coming from.
Right.
I just watched what was that guy that was kicked off of television? The Kimball.
Oh, yeah. Kimball,
So
that's the name? Kimball?
what he did was he sent people out to the street, right? And what he did was he looked at Trump supporters, and he took these Trump supporters, and he gave them they told these Trump supporters that Biden believes in blah blah blah, and it was something that Trump said. And when they said it was Biden, they immediately said, "Oh, this guy is crazy. He's a a dementia patient, all that kind of stuff, right?
God.
He's crazy. He's a dementia patient. He's losing his mind, right? But when they said, "Oh, we made a mistake," this is what Trump said. They said, "Well, it kind of depends on this, that, and other thing. If how the technology revolves, it's some bull crap, right?" So I'm gonna try to find that video because you got to see it. But this is what's going on with this young lady right here. Is that she has a displaced delusion because it's only a problem when it affects her.
Right.
That's why, people say there were some good white folk doing slavery. Well, where were they? Or they helped black people do this, they helped black people do that. Well, it must not have been enough. It was not enough people that was against slavery to speak up.
Yeah.
Right? It was, and then it didn't affect. Think about this: the poorest slumdog of the Caucasian society is better than anybody from the black society.
Yeah.
Right? So you could be dirt poor, have dirt floors, and you better than the LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at classism.
Yeah.
Because you're white. Mm-hmm. Right? And this person must bow down to you immediately because you're white. And that's what we deal with in this country right now, right?
Yeah. Some what's something I find kind of funny or hypocritical is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. All of Canada is getting ready to celebrate Truth and Reconciliation Day. They're gonna put on an orange shirt, and they're all gonna claim to remember the pains of the indigenous, that they've suffered here in Canada. And would you know, Ahabawan, maybe 3-4 days after, they're all gonna celebrate Thanksgiving. Every last one of them. Yeah, I mean, and that's the fuckery that we deal with here.
If I may, sir, somebody, what's that comment? Charles? Is that Charles?
Charles? Yeah, he said, "Did everyone forget Christopher Columbus, so-called discovered America, that was occupied with Indians and indigenous people, blacks? So how is this white people land? No ignorance when you see it." Yeah, absolutely.
Damn right.
Absolutely.
Damn right. What's the name? Charlie?
Yep. Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, damn right, Charlie. What's ironic about what's going on now, and like we spoke about earlier, that history will repeat itself. Yeah. So what's going on now is that Mr. Donald Trump doesn't want these Epstein files, which he pushed these Epstein files to be released so heavy when he was campaigning against the Democrats. So now he's blocking them from being released. He's only allowing a section to be released, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why is assumed that there's evidence of him and some underage women, being involved in sexual activities, right? And Mr. Charlie just brought up, what's that? Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
What you have to understand is, like you said, Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. There was already people here, right? But if you look at his memoirs, Christopher Columbus was stealing the young women as low as the age of 8 and 9 years old, and trafficking them back to European lands and to his homeboys. So he was the Epstein of 1492, right? Christopher Columbus was the Epstein of 1492. Yeah. So think about this. He was taking these young women to an island. What did Epstein do? He took these young women to an island. So Epstein ain't discovered nothing new. He just did what his father did, his forefathers did.
John.
The Bible says you are of your father the devil.
Yeah, you know, and the Bible says, you know, when you speak about history repeating itself, the Bible says there is no new man under the sun.
Damn right.
You know, that which has been already. Like the spirit of a man recycles on earth.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand that the Lord created everything in 6 days, and He was done. He was finished. There is no new spirits coming out on the earth, you know, of new people that have never been here before. The earth recycles, and you got to understand that. You, for all you know, what's his name? Jeffrey Epstein was Columbus.
Was Columbus, yeah.
Same fuckery that he's been doing. You know what I mean? His entire existence here on earth. You know what I mean? And that's why it's also so, you know, it's so just that when the Lord said in Obadiah that, you know, every man from the house of Esau must be cut off by slaughter, like this race of people has to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Ahabawan, that verse you brought out, Psalms 58:3. You know what I mean? After it speaks about what is it? Being the wicked are estranged from the womb.
Yep.
You know what it says in verse 4?
It says their position is like the poison. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
They are a fucking virus on this earth. You think UPK just says that for no reason? They are poison on this earth.
Parasites.
Absolute parasites. You know what I mean? And so it's so fitting that these people be destroyed. You know what I mean? Their evil is always going to be on this earth. And
if I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we skipped over something in this scripture, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if we jump to 3, it says the wicked are estranged from the womb, right? Then it says they go astray as soon as they be born. As soon as they're born, they go astray. Speaking lies.
Yeah, that's the 2-year-old with a rifle in his hand.
Yeah, right.
As soon as they're born.
As soon as they're born.
And right from the womb, they speak lies. What does it say? That he was a murderer from the beginning? He's a liar. There's no truth in him. These people were created as vessels of dishonor. That's who they are. That's who they'll always be. And you know, and there's something interesting you had brought out earlier, Habuan. You know, speaking on the all the what is it, the mass shooters.
Yes, sir.
That's only talking about the mass shooters in America, Habuan.
Yes, I only talked about the ones in America.
You think they're not shooting up schools in Australia, over in Britain and Ireland, and Poland and Russia? Look up some of the worst mass shooters. Norway, man kills 50 kids.
I really think it's a higher number outside of the United States.
Man,
they just not. You know why? Why report? You know that wow. You know what that wow is? That WOW.
Yeah.
What you call it? That wow. That WOWC. You can't. We're not going to report the white on white crime.
Yeah.
You had to do that just in Grand Blanc. You know, you were talking about the shooter. Yeah. Just in Grand Blanc, right? Grand Blanc is about what? Let's say about an hour and a half from Detroit. It's on the other side of Flint, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know, we've done teaching in Flint. We've done things out there in Flint, so we were not too far from there, right? And understand, this individual did something that they did before. That's Remember, right. In what was that, Alabama, when they bombed the church, and it was the four black girls.
Yeah, they what was it? I can't remember if it was 13 or 30. It might have been 30 actually.
It was more than that. The 4 black girls were killed, but I think it was more than that injured. Right? Understand this. They've been blowing up, burning up, shooting up churches for the longest. That's what they've been doing. Dylan Roof shot up a church. He walked inside the church and he unalived 9 parishioners. Right? And you know what they said when he unalived those 9 parishioners? Those black folks said, "We forgive him."
God.
So, you know, I would like to forgive the man that unalived Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
This guy in Grand Blanc that went up there and did his thing. You may have to forgive him. If you're a good Christian, you may have to forgive him.
No, Salakia, they're bad Christians. Those police officers put a bullet in them.
Oh, you know what? They were supposed to forgive him.
I guess everyone sins, right? Everybody falls short. Maybe
Everybody falls short of the glory of God.
Police officers just made a mistake. You know what I mean?
Look. The Bible says, "Be ye perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect." So there's a chance you could be perfect. Christ walked this earth, proved he was perfect.
God.
Understand, is being perfect is just not sinning. Right? Following the law, statutes, and commandments. That's being perfect.
If I could.
Please.
1 Kings 8, verse 61. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God.
Yes, sir.
To walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
Just keep the commandments.
I hear so many people say we ain't perfect. Understand, they're using that as an excuse not to try to be perfect. Right? You can't use that you're not perfect as an excuse not to strive for perfection. You can't use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
But he said, I thought you had to ask and beg for forgiveness. You don't got to beg me. Just ask. Just say, "Hey, will you forgive me? A hop of wine." I'm just say, "Yes, I forgive you. Please don't do that again." Right? That's just. What about you, sir? If I was to wrong you, and I come to you, I say, out of wine, could you please forgive me? I ain't mean to step on your Jordans.
No sweat, please.
I ain't mean to knock over your drink. Think about the small things that people get unalived for.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bump into you on the way out the club.
God.
Right? I forgive you. And guess what? If he says he's going to turn to me and be like, "It's all right, Op." And guess what? There's no shooting. Mm-hmm. There's no shooting.
Yeah.
There's no more death and destruction with brotherhood. One of the things that we teach out here in the ISUPK, that brotherhood is a weapon, right? And what you have to understand is brotherhood is not only a weapon, it's protection.
Yeah.
It's protection. When a sister decides to walk out the schools, you don't understand how many brothers are protecting her as she walks to her car, leaving one of our schools.
Yeah.
It's that simple, right? If matter of fact, if a brother walk out, sir, if you walk out the school, right? You walk out the school, we're at the school, you walk out the school. How many brothers walking you out? Right? We don't. Brotherhood is a weapon, but it's also protection. We walk together.
Yeah.
And the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? So not only do we walk together, we are in agreement when we walk.
Yeah. I mean, if I may, and what, it was just Saturday. I'm sitting in the school with the Habawan. A brother walks out of the school. A Habawan jumps up, runs to the fucking door, says, "Hey, Salaki, you too, sir? You good? You need help going anywhere?" Because a Habawan is watching over his brothers.
I'm watching over my brothers.
Guess
why?
That's real love.
Guess what? Because brothers watched over me and are watching over me. Because if I get up and walk to the door, you know what? I got a call from Kazakh today. Kazakh 5 racks. Right? And I'm looking at my phone like, all right, I'm about to get some orders.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to get some orders. He's like, You good? I was like, yeah. He's like, you ain't stressing or nothing like that. It's like, I'm dealing with the looking for the job and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, shit start. He's like, no, if you need something, say something. I was like, come on, sir, So we chopped it up, and he's like, yeah, we just need to have a little bit more brotherhood. I was like, it started right here.
Yeah.
And guess what I did? I talked to another brother. Hey, brother, you good? Because that right there, that's brotherhood should be contagious. Brotherhood should be contagious.
Yeah, and and when we sit here as a people and follow European culture, we do stupid shit like unalive one another for stepping on our shoes.
Damn right.
Because Europeans taught us that, having material items is the most important thing in the world. They taught us that life is about getting a good retirement. Life is about getting the big house, the nice car. The Europeans taught us that garbage. And we as a people fail when we follow and buy into his culture. You know what I mean?
Envy not thy oppressor.
God. And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. Loving that house, loving that car, loving them shoes. Think about this. If you unalive your brother for stepping on your shoes, that means you love some shoes. What shoes made out of leather? Dead horse or dead cow or something? So you
used to be made out of our skin.
It used to be made our skin. So you love something that has died, right? You love something that has died more than you love your brother that's alive. Right? And think about this. You can wash that shoe off. You can wash that shoe off. Right? You can wash that shoe off. Once you unalive your brother, the blood is on your hand. What did the Most High tell Cain? The blood of your brother?
Yeah, cries.
The blood of your brother cries from the ground.
Yeah.
Think about this. When you put your brother's blood on the ground for no reason, but you put your brother's blood on that ground, you unalive your brother, his blood is going to cry from that ground. Only you know what scripture say, right? But sir, if I may,
if I could, just last thing,
please.
Can you grab a Ecclesiastes 7:13 for me? Because as we continue to get on through this class, bring out some of this information. This brother in the chat said, "Don't forget, these are bad spirits, not bad people."
You know what that sounds like, sir, if I may?
God.
Understand is that's the thing that Christians say, love the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah.
Right? But the Most High God says he don't hear the prayers of the sinner. Right? He doesn't hear the prayers of the sinner.
He hates sinners.
He hates sinners. As a matter of fact, when the Most High God is going to send his servant Christ, his son Christ, and when Christ returns, it's going to be some sinners that's going to be unalived.
Sure.
Right? Because you like Christmas and birthdays, and you like Thanksgiving, and you like to celebrate Columbus Day, right? You like to do those things. These days commemorate the mass rape, murder, and unaliving of your people, our people, the 12 tribes. These days commemorate, right? Thanksgiving commemorates the unaliving of 77 million of your Native American brothers and sisters. 77 million, right? The Trail of Tears. Imagine the Trail of Tears you partying. It's great. The Trail of Tears, right? These concentration camps. These what do they call them? What do they call the reservations? These reservations. Think about it. They stole your people from one land or forced them off their land, because it was profitable. And they forced them into a reservation, right? They forced them into these reservations. Oh, and if you want to say that only happened to Native Americans, it happened to black people too. It happened to Hispanics too. Because you understand is that Hispanics, right, our Hispanic brothers and sisters owned most of this country before they were pushed out. The Native Americans owned all of it before they were pushed out. Black folk, when you got over here, you created Tulsa, Oklahoma, and got pushed out. You created Rosewood, Seneca Village. There's a city, Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier was a predominant black city. And with Lake Lanier being a predominant black city, guess what the oppressor did? Right? He flooded your ass out of there. That's what he did with Lake Lanier. Is that not also rumored what they did in Louisiana when those levees supposedly broke a couple days after the hurricane? I remember that Hurricane Katrina because that's my mama name. And she a devout Christian. Goddamn hurricane. But I got that scripture, sir. You said Ecclesiastes 7 and what?
What was it? Ecclesiastes 7 and 13.
7 and 13?
Yeah.
It's Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. Consider the work of God. For who can make that straight which he has made crooked?
You gotta understand, you know what I mean? And this is the big game. Like the Most High has the potter has power over the clay. You understand? This is the work of God. You're a potter and you're making clay. That is the work of God. You're forming something. You're forming these people. You know what I mean? This is King Solomon, the wisest man to ever walk the earth.
Yeah,
and
right.
he said, consider the work of God. Consider it. He said, for who can make straight which he hath made crooked? And to brothers like Big Mike or Big Game, like, until that man of sin is revealed on this earth, and understand it said, man of sin be revealed. Until that man of sin, not that spirit of sin, not that demon, not the devil, not Satan, not Lucifer of sin, be revealed, till that man of sin. Until you understand that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
These things are going to keep happening. There's going to be more news reports on Europeans bombing people. There's going to be more reports on Europeans running cars into buildings and emptying a clip out into little children. Because that man of sin must be revealed. There is a wicked, evil people on this earth. They're going to be revealed. There's nothing you can do to stop it. The more you fight the shit, the more you're going to see more stories. More death, more famine, more heartache, more pain. You're going to see more atomic bombs dropped in Iran or dropped in Iraq. Until the whole earth understands, or until the brothers that are meant to serve Christ understand that the white man is the devil, and blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous, turn from loving their oppressor and truly serving Christ, he's going to keep being revealed to the earth. And you can't change his spirit. You can't make straight what the Lord made crooked. He is a wicked bastard. From the womb, Esau, blessed with the sword, a cunning hunter. No greater fornicator than Esau.
No greater
sexual deviant. He is a deceiver, a liar. There is no truth in him. Till everybody understands that the Europeans painted the greatest man to ever walk this earth, Jesus Christ, as a white man when really he's a black man from the tribe of Judah. Till the world understand these things, you're going to keep seeing it happen. Slacky.
If I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
To make it simple, because some people don't like to use the term devil. Understand the term devil only means deceiver.
God.
It only means deceiver, right? Devil does not mean this cat with this pitchfork and horns on his head, red. Think about it. He red all over. The Bible describes Esau as being red and hairy.
Right.
Right. But understand, if you were to just say that Esau is a thief, right? He stole countries, he stole land, he stole people.
God.
Even in the scriptures, John, what's that, 10:10 says that the thief comes to do
right.
What? Hold on, let me pull that.
To steal and destroy, paraphrasing.
John 10:10 says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Right? What man has, black man, Native American man, Hispanic man, what man has stole from you? Right? Generations and generations, right? Land, people, right? What man has stole from you? What man has killed you? What man has destroyed you? Even if you get into it with a black man on the street, he don't destroy you. Okay, just say y'all get into a shootout and somebody's unalive. You're not destroyed. It's not destroyed for generations after generations, right? You and a couple of family members and may get back at him and a couple of family members or something like that. But eventually, it stopped. It stops, right? With Esau, it never stops. It went from these iron shackles around our neck in slavery to once we were released from slavery, the sharecroppers were conned out of their land and their fair share, right? They were conned out of their land and their fair share. They were lied to. The Native Americans said this, like, hey, the pale-faced man has a forked tongue.
Right.
The pale-faced man has a forked tongue. With the pale-faced man having a forked tongue, it tells you that what? The pale-faced man is a snake.
God.
Right? A snake.
If I could.
Please.
I'm going to share my screen because, this man is such a devil that black people had to create a book. It was called let me quote it right. It's called the Negro Motorist Green Book.
Yep.
Black people had to create this book to publish it, print it, to hand it out to blacks, to African Americans, a black man from the tribe of Judah in America, so that he could be safe when he traveled around the country. I'm going to play this real quick.
There were certain entertainers in these. There was certain people, as we see in this picture, there were certain entertainers in these certain clubs, like the Zombie Club, the Cotton Club, where black people really couldn't even watch their own people entertain unless they were told by white people to come. So just imagine traveling. Well, the Green Book basically was a guide. It was a Negro guide. It was called the Negro Motorist Green Book back in those days that would show you safe places to go whenever you traveled out of state. So imagine you were going to meet your grandmama, you were going anywhere to check things out, and you had to rest or go to the bathroom. Well, this Green Book actually told you the places to go where you can be safe and not be basically killed in certain ways. There was certain people.
Imagine that, Abuwan.
Understood. And that right there, what you're saying, I know you paused it there, but that ties right into the subject of these sundown towns that we getting into later on.
God. Like we need I need a book. I gotta purchase a fucking book for my kids to give to them, to tell them all the safe places you can go. Study it, read it, memorize it in your head, because if you leave this city and you go into an area that you don't know, you might get lynched.
Yes. And you know what was so heavy about that? I wish when my children were younger, I wish I'd have found the ISUPK 20 years before I found it. Right? Because when they got to do these Black History Months projects, guess what? Right? Guess what we doing? We put stuff like this in there.
Right.
Right? So they can present that because 9 times out of 10, they got an oppressor as a teacher. When I was coming up at that age, majority of my teachers, even though I was in the hood, majority of my teachers were, I would say it was probably 60% of my teachers were oppressors.
Right.
It started to get a little, maybe it switched when I got to high school. But my parents sent me to Catholic school for a couple of years. I was just blessed to get away from the priest.
That's a real
thing. Right. You know why? Because I was too busy. Like you said, I was the bully retaliator. Right. So I see somebody getting bullied. So now I'm, basically what you said, bullying the bully. So guess what? Now I'm looked at as the bad kid. But they couldn't have explained, well, how is he the bad kid with a 3.0 GPA?
Right.
Because I do my work before I fuck you up. But
good damn.
Like Laura in the chat, she went to high school with me, so she can attest to how I was.
God.
Right, I was the protector, and it's in your spirit. It's the same thing you do now. Look what the ISUPK does, is that they protect our people from these bullies. The oppressor is a bully. Yeah. He's a bully and a sore winner and a sore loser.
Yep.
You think about this. We win, we have some drinks, we celebrate, see you again. Right?
Yeah.
The oppressor wins, and he's mad because it's not a complete obliteration of your people.
Yeah.
Right? So much that, think about this. The Jim Crows, why do you got to make laws? If you're winning already, why do you have to make laws to put me farther behind? You winning already. Right? It's you can't catch up.
Con, if I may, because the psychology, I was looking into this last week, the psychology behind mass shooters.
Yes, sir.
One of the main motivators to being a mass shooter is feeling emasculated. And what emasculates, again, this is psychologists saying this, one of the things that emasculates a European man is being unsuccessful. And in the European child's mind, I don't have what my father has. And because I don't have what my father has, I'm going to unalive 20 children in an elementary school. This is what psychologists say. You can't emasculate a European man. And psychologists know that they say, unfortunately, we understand that, some 79% of mass shooters are European. I forget the percentage, but damn near all the mass shooters are European. They feel emasculated when they don't have, or they haven't won, like a Habawan, you said. They haven't won like their father won. They haven't killed enough people. They haven't conquered enough land. They don't have enough money. They don't have a good car, and the dream home. So they feel emasculated as a young boy, as a young child. They don't have all the wealth that their father had. That's one of the motivations behind mass shooting. It's lucky.
You know, that's heavy what you're saying, because, you know, with what's going on in America now, what happened with, you know, during slavery is that during slavery they tried to emasculate the strong man, right? By buck breaking him.
Yeah.
So a lot of people believe that sagging your pants came from prison. No, it did not come from prison. Sagging your pants, right, came from being buck, B-U-C-K, broken, right? Understand is that the slaves didn't have underwear.
Right.
We didn't have underwear as slaves. So what they would do is, after they had, you know, had broke your spirit, you have to walk around with your pants, you know, hanging down to show that you were available for master. Right? And think about this. If you didn't wear underwear, your behind was showing. You got cheeks out as a man. So, you know, master had easy access. Right? So understand, as our oppressor, they don't mind being homosexual. They just don't want to be emasculated.
Yeah.
Right? Because he had to be homosexual to actually do the buck breaking on the slaves, right? So he had to be homosexual to do it, but he just don't want to be emasculated. What you have to understand is that there are some homosexual guys that are not emasculated. If you look at it, if you look at these files, right, like the Epstein files, they had a lot of underage young ladies there, but they had some underage young brothers, well, not brothers, young men there too, right? They said they had some underage young women, and now they also have some underage young men there too, right? Look what's going on and our oppressor knows that he doesn't want to be emasculated. So look at our television. Look what's going on with us. Now he's not getting out there doing the buck breaking no more, right? Not in open public, but he's trying to emasculate you. Every television show that you watch, you can't watch television without it being some man on man stuff, right? You can't watch commercials without it being some man on man stuff.
You at Salakia, and what you just said is so heavy, if I may, because understand that if you show two European men in the media as being homosexual, they don't feel emasculated.
No, they don't.
You show two brothers on the screen, they're going to feel emasculated.
Yes. Yes, because we know that homosexuality in our community, homosexuality is emasculation is what causes homosexuality in our community, right? Think about it. He was a punk. He was soft. Think when we was growing up, Shariwan, I think you're about 10 years younger than me. But when I grew up, you didn't have this what do they call it when you beat up a person because they're homosexual? Whatever they call it, bashing, gay bashing, or I think it's what it's called.
I don't know.
They didn't have that term when we grew up. When I was, growing up, when I was in my, adolescent age, and I was in my teens, you would see guys be suspected as homosexual, and they would beat the shit out of them. Right? That dude would either hide his effeminacy, right? Or you'll see it with a girlfriend.
Yeah.
He'd have a girlfriend, right? But nowadays, I'm not saying it's right to beat somebody up because of their sexual orientation. No, but what I'm saying is the difference in times of what you see then and what you see now. Now, you can't say certain words without being without this cancel culture.
God.
You can't say certain words, right? You can't. I think you could say homosexual, but you can't say the words that we used to, that F word. You can't say that. The one that end with the G.
Yeah.
You can't say that. You say that right there, you get canceled. Right? And then it's like you can't tell the truth anymore. The Bible says that in the last days, and I'm paraphrasing, the last days, wrong will be looked at as right, and right will be looked at as wrong. Right?
Yeah.
So I can't go to, I'm not saying I can't. It's politically incorrect to go to somebody and say, you homosexual, the Lord is going to destroy you. Right? You're homosexual, you're the reason why is HIV and AIDS in this earth. When the Bible says that, the Bible says if a man lay with man as womankind, guess what? The sin is going to be upon his blood. And I'm paraphrasing, right? So what do you think the sin being upon your blood is? Disease.
Yeah.
It's disease. It's HIV. It's monkeypox. Think about the monkeypox that just went on, that ran rapid just recently, not too long ago. Those monkeypox did what? It was in the male homosexual community. But like we were saying, your oppressor doesn't mind being homosexual as long as you don't emasculate him. Look what they did to Emmett Till. When Emmett Till was body was found, they had removed his genitals. Think about what they do in to the slaves when a male slave, or when not just a male slave during Jim Crow, when a brother was accused of being with a white woman, guess what? They snipped and clipped him. They snipped and clipped him and hung him from a tree, or they threw him in a river.
If I could,
please,
if I could share something real quick, just on that topic, because I'm waiting to see if this massive news station gets clipped. I'm just gonna read one part. It says this is from CTV News. All right, this isn't the ISUPK. This is CTV News. It says health unit warns of alarming rise in sexually transmitted infections in Windsor, Essex. Okay, this is I live in Windsor, right? Windsor is right beside Detroit. Now look at what some of the reasons they say. It says priority populations. Men who have sex with men who are at elevated risk for HIV and syphilis. That's not the ISUPK saying it.
It's not.
You can't have homosexuality and not have HIV and syphilis. And they gotta report that. You know what I mean? Salak, I wanted to share that real quick.
Well, sir, I think I want to give you this AI overview real quick, because the name of this class, well, it started off as, we talked about white folk not wanting black folk in their hoods, right? But we also said that they didn't have a problem with you being in their homes and living in their homes. Think about it. They don't want you in their hoods now. They don't want you in their neighborhoods, their communities, right? They don't want you in their churches and their affiliations and whatever it is that they have in their stores. They don't want you in their restaurants. Think about this. Black people couldn't go to these restaurants. They don't want you near them, right?
Hey, Salaki, hold down the class for just 1 minute.
I got it. So they didn't want you near them. But when they owned you, When they owned you, they wanted you in their homes. You lived in their homes when you owned them. You lived on their plantations and their property when they owned you. So it's not that they don't want you in their neighborhoods. They just don't want you in their neighborhoods because they don't own you no more. And that right there developed into what we're looking at now is certain sundown towns, right? And a sundown town is a community that intentionally excludes non-white people through legal or conventional practices. It says often requiring them to leave by sunset, and is a significant understudy form of history racial control in the United States. These towns enforce racial exclusion using various methods, including intimidating signage, exclusionary housing, covenants, racial cleaning, and unequal law enforcement. Unequal law enforcement. Though the practice largely faded after the Civil Rights Act in 1968. Think about it. It says, while often associated with Black Americans, the practice also targeted other minority groups. Right? Understand is that it also targeted other minority groups. So blacks, it targeted blacks. The so-called Hispanics, the so-called Native Americans, it targeted you too. It's targeted to keep the oppressor above, the 12 tribes. What you have to see is, hey, sir, if I send you a video, could you play it?
God.
Okay, let me find it real quick. Now, what you got to understand now is that there are multiple so-called sundown towns in United States now, right? During the Jim Crow, these sundown towns they were basically just about every predominantly white city. Now, the book that Shariwan was talking about, which is the Negro Green Book Guide to Travel, that book was designed so that so-called African Americans, black people, that so-called blacks could go to certain areas, states, and cities, and there not be, it was less likely of a chance that they will be attacked by your oppressors, right? It's less likely. So you could, in this book, you had cities like Detroit and Chicago, right? And then you had some other small cities like Idlewild. Like you used to go up north in Michigan. Idlewild was one of these cities that, think about it, Idlewild was a predominantly black city. So you could go there and stop there and get a hotel room or get go have into a restaurant and not have to be concerned with, it's less likely of a chance of you being attacked by your oppressor while you're sleeping.
Right.
Right. So it's less likely of a chance of you being or your family, you or your family being attacked, and y'all in your sleeps.
God, if I may, just while you take that, because what you're saying is so heavy, and what you titled this class was so heavy that white folks don't want black folks in their neighborhoods. That we got to understand, that Europeans do so many different things, to tell us passively, sometimes aggressively, that they don't want your black ass here. Like, I'll give a perfect example. Did not Donald Trump say that Haitians are eating their pets? Didn't Donald Trump say that?
Yes, he did say that, sir.
He said Haitians are eating dogs. And what's the therefore? Therefore, that these people are uncivilized. The Haitians that are coming over to America, they're uncivilized. So what do we have to do, Ahabawan? Immigration.
Yes, sir.
Immigration. We got these illegal immigrants. Like we said from the beginning of the class, it's always immigrants. That's the term that we put on these people because they apparently don't belong here. Not understanding that you had natives that were in North America that you sent to fucking Haiti.
Yes.
They were from North America. You sent them to the Caribbean islands.
Yes.
That's why they're over there. So now you say that the Haitians are eating dogs. What about the Chinese man who's been he proudly eating fucking animals?
Yes.
His pets, his cats, his dogs. From the beginning of time, he doesn't hide the shit.
Mice.
He'll tell you, we
bats.
eat dogs. They eat bat, they eat snake, rats, every fucking thing. But Donald Trump didn't say that, oh, the Chinese are eating their pets. We got to get them out of here. Donald Trump didn't say that.
Remember the term let the cat out the bag?
Right.
Right. Understand where that came from. Right. That came from, these European settlers. One is that you'll go to the store and you would think that you're getting a pig because they would put it in the bag. You're getting you a pig. They put it in the bag tied up. And then when you get to the house, you open this bag up and the damn cat jump out the bag. Right. So it's like you think you done went and got you a piglet, and you about to take this piglet home and cook it for the family. When you get home, a cat rush out the bag.
Yeah.
And so that's where the term letting the cat out the bag came from, because they were conning each other. Now what you have to understand is just because that cat came out that bag, they took that cat and ate it. It was the only meat they had. Right, so your European sellers, after they were conning, after they were conning each other, saying, "Hey, I'm selling you a pig. You see the pig, you turn your head a little bit. He done slipped the cat in there. Don't know where the hell he got the goddamn cat from, right? Don't know where the hell he got the cat from. So now he done slipped the cat. You take the cat home to your family. Well, not us. This was the Europeans. They take the cat home to the family, open the cat up, open the bag up, and then let the cat out the bag." So one is that you were conned and tricked by your own people, right? Because your own people wanted to get it up on you, right? Two is that now you got to eat a cat, and you want to say our people eating cats. They called it I forget what they called it. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's a term they called the cat when they had to eat cat, thinking it was a pig. I sent you the second video. If you could play that one first, sir.
I'm gonna play it. Let me read something real quick. Cause I had to look this up. I was just curious. This says how many crimes were done by white people in 2024. In 2024, the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program reported that were 289,000 total arrests made in the U.S. for violent crime offenses. Among these arrests, the highest number were identified as white, with 143,000 arrests. This data reflects the ongoing pattern of crime and arrest statistics in the United States. Donald Trump said we got to get Hispanics out of the country because they're criminals. When FBI statistics say white people are the criminals.
And you know what's so heavy about that, sir? Is that think about it. I was born in the United States, so on paper, technically, we're I'm an American. I say that with quotation marks above it. To my mother and my father, and then both of my grandparents were also born in the United States. Because on my father's side, they're descendants of Native Americans and slaves, and then on my mother's side, they're descendants of slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So understand this is that with me being from with me being descendants of Native Americans and descendants of slaves, right? Which the Native Americans went into slaves. I'm looked at as just a goddamn slave, right? And so these sundown towns really affected. You could tell by my skin complexion. I got to be out that sundown town. I can't be sitting in there too much longer. But I got that real quick, sir. I'm gonna read this. It says, the most acceptable origin to let the cat out the bag stems from dishonest practice in medieval livestock markets where vendors will swap a valuable piglet for a less valuable cat and conceal it in the bag.
Imagine that.
You mother. Some of it. You get home and it's a damn cat.
Good night. Hey, Salaki Priest, which
play the second one. It's the second one, only like 3 minutes. We don't got much time, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to get both of them in.
Okay, no sweat. Let me share my screen. I'll play that real quick.
Yeah, so these are just one of them should be a compilation of sundown towns in the United States, and this is 2025, right? So America is not supposed to be racist anymore, right? America is supposed to be like, it's not the Caucasian man that's causing the black man to fail, right? It's supposed to be the black man. The black man is supposed to be causing his own demise, right? If you don't mind playing that, sir.
And if I could add real quick, all these Europeans are walking around with "Make America Great Again" hats. America is great because of the slavery of blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. They want you enslaved. That's what will make America great again.
Yep.
When you just be a good nigga, you just say yes, massa. You stay in your place. You make the money, and we can all live in peace again. Salaki.
Shockingly, still in 2025, there are still places in America where black people are not welcome after dark. These are known as the Sundown Towns, a chilling reminder of the racist policies that shaped the U.S. Let's talk about their story, how they functioned, and why their impact still lingers today. Sundown towns were or are communities that banned blacks and minorities from being in town after sunset. These policies were enforced through threats, violence, and police intimidation. These towns weren't just in the South, they were everywhere, including the Midwest and the West. From Oregon, entire towns made it clear. Black peoples were not allowed to stay after dark. The name Sundown Town comes from the signs that once stood at the entrance of these places, saying things like, "Do not let the sun set on you here." Some places rang sirens to signal that black residents should.
I was about to say the trumpets.
Yeah. Don't let the sun go down with your black ass around us white people.
Yes.
You might motivate us to lynch somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be in these places after the sun goes down. Because now nobody's watching us. Now I get to be a police officer without a body cam.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is down. And these towns, they're still around today.
Yes, sir.
They got videos and documentaries. They got there's people that play pranks. Those dumbasses who are just waiting to get shot.
Oh, some of the ones that went to Texas.
And they'll go into these all white towns, and the people will say, "You shouldn't be here."
Yes.
And y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a joke. These devils are violent.
Yes, they are. I watched one of those pranks earlier today. It was it almost sounded like a joke. It was a white guy, a black guy, and a Chinese guy. And I'm like, damn, that sounds like all the jokes I used to say in middle school. Black guy, white guy, Chinese guy.
Right.
Like, right. So, like you were saying, nigga, leave.
Yeah. I remember. I always tell people this story. There was a place. Shoot, I was like 17, 18 in Indianapolis, and I was out with my cousins. We were going out, quote unquote, bar hopping, and we got in front of this one bar, and they actually had a sign in the window that said "No colors allowed." And you know what I did, Ahaba One?
Mm-hmm.
You know how grateful I was that sign was there?
You know what?
I was like, I ain't going in that fucking place.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I didn't feel threatened, Ahaba One. I didn't feel like I was in danger. I feel like my black ass just got saved. Because I don't want to walk into a place where people hate me.
It's a bar here in the city of Detroit, right? I'm not going to say the name of it.
God.
But it has a sign on it that says "No colors allowed."
Yeah.
And the owner explained to me that he talking about motorcycle colors. But why you don't say biker gangs?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Why you don't say biker gangs?
Yeah.
Because I remember that no colors allowed, and this dude that owns this bar is, his family are from immigrants.
Yeah.
Right? But just like the young lady in the video earlier, he just like she did, since it was advantageous to ride with that white supremacy, he rides with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit that play button, please, sir, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Could leave immediately. These racist policies peaked between the late 1800s and the mid-1900s. As black people moved north during the Great Migration to escape Southern racism, many all-white communities doubled down on keeping them out. The enforcement of Sundown town rules was brutal. Black travelers or residents caught after dark often faced beatings, arrest, or worse. Entire families were terrorized for simply existing in the wrong.
He said that black travelers caught in sundown towns often caught beatings, or arrested. Think about it. He said often caught beatings. You gonna get your ass beat.
Yeah.
Often caught beatings, or arrested, or worse. Right. That's where you got those strange fruit and familiar trees.
Yeah.
Right. That's where that song by Billie Holiday. She came out with that song. Do you understand that she was arrested for singing this song? Right? She sang a song. She was arrested for singing a song, similar to NWA making a song "Fuck the Police."
Yeah.
They were arrested in Detroit for singing that song. The thing about it is, with Billie Holiday being arrested for this strange fruit and familiar trees, your oppressor does not want you to, how can I say this? He don't want you to throw his crimes up in his face. His sins, he don't want his sins to be, he don't want to be told his sins. That's why that the American government and Trump and his allegiance, they don't want the color theory being taught in schools, right? When if you look at them, that's the things that happen. It's just American history, a part of American history. right?
They even said it in this video. They said the Great Migration. I laughed at that.
The Great Migration. Think about this. It wasn't a great migration from the western coast of Africa to the United States. To matter of fact, not the United States, to the Americas. It wasn't a great migration from the Americas to the European land. It wasn't a great migration from the people that was pulled from the European land and forced to go to Africa. That wasn't a great migration. That was the transatlantic slave trade. With it being the transatlantic slave trade, a migration is this. A migration is in the 1940s, right? White people started to leave Detroit, right? They started to leave Detroit because black people were moving into Detroit.
Yeah.
So they called it white flight. That's a migration. Those white folk migrated out of the city of Detroit. And that's how Detroit came predominantly black for a long time. Now, gentrification has taken over the city, and now those white folk are migrating back. Understand, when you migrate, you do it on your own will.
I mean,
you don't go kicking and screaming. You can't say I migrated kicking and screaming.
It's shameful that anybody ever has to give a definition of that.
Say that again, sir.
It's shameful that anybody has to give an actual definition of that.
Of migration?
Yeah.
The Great Migration, and you left kicking and screaming. That's not migrating.
Yeah.
That's kidnapping. Yeah. There's a difference between being kidnapped and migrating, right? Matter of fact, let's look up the definition of migration. Oh man, this is hilarious.
I might pull up while you get the law in the Bible.
Migration, seasonal movement of animals from one region to another, right? It says movement of people to a new area or country in order to find work or better living conditions, right? So people migrate from one area to another to find work or better living conditions, right? Just say you live in Detroit and you get a job in Texas. You migrate to Texas so you can work. And a lot of times, depending on the job, you're going to get a relocation. You're going to get a relocation. It's not a bonus. It's a relocation. What they call that? When they give you relocation, they pay you to relocate for the job.
I'm not sure what it's called.
It's not a bonus, but it's an allocation that is allocated to you so that you can, so that you can be reimbursement. So you get relocation reimbursement, so that you move from a state to state, right? A lot of jobs, well, some jobs, especially when you're salary, they give you that relocation reimbursement. Show me the relocation reimbursement for the Jews that was removed from Africa and sent to America. For those that were pulled from Americas and sent to the European countries. Those that was pulled from those European countries and sent to Africa. Show me their relocation reimbursement.
Yeah.
Or show me that it was for better living conditions. It was for a job. You just had to work for free.
Yeah.
Think about it. You had to work for free. So what they do is they cut the back part out and they're like, oh, you migrated from Africa. Oh, hell no. You don't. Nowhere in that definition do you migrate kicking and screaming. Now, let's look up the term kidnap. Kidnap. Kidnapping, kidnap. It says, this damn thing, right? Hold on. Define kidnap. Hey Siri, define kidnap. Right? So it says kidnap. Take away. Why did it do that? Kidnapping or abduction is the unlawful abduction, and confinement of a person against their will, and is a crime in many jurisdictions. Kidnapping may be accomplished by use of force or fear, or a victim may be enticed into confinement by fraud or deception.
Yeah.
That's being kidnapped. So you tell me, were the slaves, were they kidnapped or did they migrate?
And you know something that was interesting. You know, just to close out the class, I was out. Me and Zabadia maybe 2-3 weeks ago. We went downtown Toronto to do some interviews, and Zabadia ran into a devil and got into a conversation. A Christian devil got into a conversation about kidnapping, and this white man told Zabadia that in some contexts it's okay to kidnap. And and when and I'm sitting there laughing, you know what I mean, because Zabadia just the UPK spirit just started blazing on this devil, but in asking him, or Slaggy, after Zabadia got done blazing on him, I looked at the devil and asked him, like, so I said, so you're really okay, or you think sometimes it's okay to kidnap? And this devil said, well, am I taking a child away from a burning building?
That's
and
not
I'm like, that's not kidnapping. That's saving the child. I mean, we're the same mind, Ahabawan. Because I said that's not the question that was asked. Not about saving a child. We're talking about kidnapping. And he said, well, it always depends on the context. So I said, in what context is kidnapping okay? And this devil said, well, maybe, if we're taking the child and putting them in a better condition.
So, like, it's okay to kidnap if you take kids and put them in cages?
You know what? It's okay.
They're doing in the ice camp.
Yeah, it's okay to kidnap Habawan, because what he really said passively is that if you're Black, Hispanic, or Indigenous, it's okay to kidnap your children so that we can civilize you. That's it.
Christopher Columbus said that the Native Americans were a very docile people. They said to the point where they didn't have any rape, murder, or theft amongst them.
Yeah, none.
It didn't civilize us, sir.
Yeah.
But you want to take us out, sir?
Khan, I got my book on me. Yeah, so like I'll close this out again. Thawada for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the class. Again, Baba Kashad, please share the classes. Keep the commandments, pay your tithes, giving your donations, help push this truth. You know what I mean? We're out here really waking up and helping our people, helping Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous. I mean, we damn near have a food drive every week in Detroit, giving food to our people, helping out our people. So make sure you pay those tithes, donate. It's going to a good cause. We're all about helping out our people, helping out our family. Like, share, subscribe, and check out Blackwatch. Blackwatch is about to be live every Monday night. Commanding General Yohana. Check it out on YouTube. Don't miss it. All right. Shalom, Israel.